Well, I'm at my farm field permission. This corner, road coming up here, intersection, and the road going up there towards that hill is this intersection. At the corner you can see the schoolhouse, 1852 Atlas. And up the road is where the house Goheen, I believe, is at the top of the hill, or where it was. That's where I found the coin, harmonica reeds, buttons. Nothing yet other than a horseshoe and a few pieces of iron down here at the corner where the schoolhouse was. But if you look to here, the 1858 Atlas, the schoolhouse now looks like it's been taken over by a Mr. Weiss, or Weiss, who owned the house in the other corner, right opposite. And then Goheen is still up there. A couple more buildings have been built, and a new schoolhouse has been built up the hill past where the Goheen house was. So I'm going to head out today and see if I can find any more relics relating to these two buildings here. I'll film anything I think is worth filming, so here it goes. Well, after 4 weeks in this field, combing all the areas that I have determined to be home sites based on all the iron signals and the old tools and nails, I think I got my first old coin here. It looks like it might be a large cent. Or not. I'll have to clean it up. I'll let you know what it is. Well, this ended up being a coin. I found this in the cornfield yesterday. Thought it was a coin at first, and I thought it was a button, but the more I looked at it when I got it cleaned up at home here, I realized it was a coin. It is a braided hair large cent, minted between 1839 and 1857. Can't determine the date on it, but if you look at this design here, one of the originals, see the stars here and here, the outline of the head. There's a star, outline of the head. Down here you see a little bit of the scrolling of the hair. And you can see that right there. Flip it over. Okay, so here, the F of, hard to see, but you can see that right there. There's an F. And this leaf wreath motif, you can see that right there. The 1 cent, long gone, just corroded away. But it's definitely a large cent, somewhere between 1839 and 1857. Well, I'm in the same field I was earlier, a little bit further away from the road where I found that button or coin. I still got to do some research on that, but I think I found my first, what they call a D buckle. You can see right there, that little spot is right there, is where the pin used to go. And I'm not quite sure, it's too small for a shoe buckle. I gotta do some research on that, but it's definitely an old D buckle. Probably mid-19th century, maybe early 19th century. Well, here's that D buckle all cleaned up. The research I've done shows it's probably, I believe, a knapsack buckle. And the pin for it would have gone right there. And would have, you know, come across here, and then you would have had a strap with holes in it. Kind of like a belt buckle, I guess. It's very small. You can see how tiny this is. So it's probably a strap for a bag of some sort. Well, I decided to go up the road past the house that still exists here. I think this might have been where the schoolhouse moved to. I'm not sure, but I'm way over the hill there when I start. So I'm way up here, and I got a pretty good signal. And based on the color of the green, it might be an Indian head penny. And no, it's a Lincoln cent. It's pretty green, so it's probably pretty old. 1922. Well, it's hard to see. I'll clean it up later, but there you see 1922 Lincoln cent. Finally. Hopefully there's more. This is the view looking north along the main road up the hill here. If you look at this map, where the schoolhouse is, I believe I'm near there. And then if you see the intersection of the road going up to the right by A.T. Hendershot and the Wagon Smith, or so maybe the wheelwright shop, the WS there, that is just where the road disappears up there into the right. So, but what I look for in these fields gives me an idea where a structure used to be. Is if you look across here and you see this little plateau going up towards the telephone pole, and then there's a dip and another plateau just before the blue house, and that kind of flattens out towards the back and then goes down on that dip. And from the road, there are very defined plateaus where I think houses or school were originally located. So, and just on the other side of that second rise, I did discover an old driveway, which kind of confirms that it probably went into a house, or maybe at least a barn or something. But it's either a house or a school I'm at. So this is where I found the Indian penny and the 1923 Lincoln set. I was wrong, it was a 23. Okay, back to digging. All right, I just got a signal, pretty strong, and I kind of kicked the dirt, and I found this coin-looking object right on the surface. Didn't even have to dig for it. I'm pretty sure this is an Indian head penny. Yes, it is. Oops. Okay. There's the Indian. Let me clean it up a little bit and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, that's, I believe, an 1897 Indian head penny laying right on the surface of the corn soybean field here. Beautiful, one of my favorite coins. Very cool. Okay, this is everything I found today in the field I was at, where the schoolhouse and old homesteads used to be. Old nails, brick, crockery, some shotgun, 22 shotgun, or shotgun shells and a 22 gauge shell. Some kind of brass decorative things, copper wire, aluminum junk. But I found this cool, I believe it's a wood splitter. I didn't film that one, but I found that right towards the end of the day. I don't know if it's too old, because they're warning you to wear safety goggles, so that might be kind of new. But yeah, these are really cool pennies here. 1923 Lincoln and an 1897 Indian head penny. Well, this is the majority of what I found at that farm field with the homesteads and the schoolhouse, or schoolhouses. There might have been more than one. The better things I have inside, but this is just some of the larger things. There's the wooden, or the iron wood splitter, a piece of a plow, some bricks and crock shards, piece of old glass, junk wire, parts of tractors. Who knows what some of this stuff is, but this looks pretty old here. Not quite sure what that is. It's an old spoon bowl. That's very old, probably mid-1800s. I believe it's made out of stainless steel, actually. I mean, it's been around since the 1850s, but tell by the shape it's pretty old. 3 fired bullets, lead bullets. Two hunks of lead bar, probably used for repairs, soldering of sorts. Big old rusty wrench. Big hunk of metal. Who knows? Lots of old shotgun shells from the 1890s to the 1930s. Part of an old horseshoe, which is pretty cool. And number off of a telephone pole. Lots of square nails, which are great because they're old and they show that there was structures there. So, been there 5 times, got many more times to go back because there's a lot more to find. Well, here's another find I had. I didn't film the dig of this one because I forgot my phone that day. But This was in the farm field with the schoolhouses and homesteads. It's a buffalo nickel. Indicated on the metal detector it should have been a nickel, and based on the signal and the VDI numbers, and it ended up being one, though it doesn't look like one, but I can see the... Sorry about that. This is, okay. Outline of the head. See the mouth, nose, compared to that one. No date is going to be got from this because this is so corroded. And we'll flip it over. Okay, there, clearly see the buffalo there, and even a bit of the 5 cents underneath the buffalo, the corroded one. But the one on the left is one I had from my collection. You can see, what it was supposed to look like. But yeah, it was pretty cool to find that buffalo nickel right in the same sort of stretch of ground where the Indian head penny was, and really it was only 30 yards from the large cent that I found. So just a lot of different eras of occupancy there, from the early 1800s all the way up through possibly the 1930s. They stopped making the buffalo nickel in 1938, I believe. Same year they started the Jefferson nickel. But anyways, that was a very cool find.